Daniela Savone. I'm a chef and first-generation Italian from New York, now living in the South, and I'm on a search to find true Italian food. Follow me, the Italian gal with a wooden spoon, as I take your palate on a culinary journey just south of the Mason-Dixon line, on a quest to uncover chefs who have captured the essence of Italian cooking and are bringing the old country to the low country. John's Island, the largest island in South Carolina, the fourth largest island on the East Coast, located in Charleston County, just a short 20-minute drive from downtown Charleston. Filled with beauty and history, known for its sophistication and laid-back ambiance. The island is surrounded by magnificent live oak trees, beautiful beaches, golf courses, first-class resorts, and excellent restaurants. But one in particular, known to be the best restaurant on the island, Wild Olive Cucina Italiana, opened its doors in the heart of Charleston's farming community in 2009. Since then, it has captured the cultural magic of true Italian dining. Chef and owner Jacques Larson places the utmost value on simple seasonal cuisine. He aims to source as much product locally as possible, transforming the bounty of the Low Country into artisanal variations of regional Italian classics. And I'm here to uncover just that.
Okay, Chef Jacques, just staring at and looking at what I'm seeing here, I'm so excited. And I see quite a few things that I recognize, and I can't wait for you to just explain to me, how do these ingredients that you find down here in the South, translate into Italian cooking?
Well, we are in the heart of the farming community here in Charleston out on John's Island. So for us, our credo has always been just trying to source locally, and a lot of times locally here literally means in our backyard. There are so many wonderful farms out here, and even in odd times of the year, chances are you're going to find something that's local and amazing. And so in this dish, I figured it would be a great thing to kind of showcase a lot of these ingredients. This is a dish that we put on the menu about 11 years ago, and it's been a staple on the menu since. But we're doing a pappardelle, which we use local eggs in our fresh pasta. Just gives it such a gorgeous color. Our pasta guy is a genius and very adept at pasta making.
As all pasta makers.
Yeah, very passionate for sure. Other ingredients we're featuring in this dish, which are local. We have some spinach from Storey Farms, Keegan Filon, been long-time contributors to our produce scene here. And then we used to get, there used to be some monks up in the north area that in Mepkin Abbey that would grow mushrooms. They are no longer in business. I think now they are raising eggs.
Is that garlic?
Yep.
What's the size of these things?
We have a little garlic, little Parmesan Reggiano, and good olive oil. Pretty easy to make this at home. If you can't find guanciale like you state, sometimes you can find pancetta more easily.
Right.
Even kind of like if you're doing a carbonara stuff at home too, you could always substitute a smoky bacon broth as well. So, yeah, we'll get going. First, you always, like any good Italian dish, make sure you have good olive oil. And we use a lot of different olive oils for different things here. This is our cooking olive oil. So the first step, as in a lot of dishes in Italy, we do use garlic to start out. I like to, many a time, rather than add minced garlic, what we'll do is we'll just take smashed garlic cloves and we'll brown them in the olive oil. I really like this because it imparts a nice garlic flavor without being too overpowering.
And then you remove them.
Yes, we brown and just get the oils from the garlic to melt. You can see it's already starting to brown in the pan. Do a little bit quick.
My nonna would do is after doing that, she would kind of slice it up on a piece of bread and eat it just like that.
Yeah, if you take it really far and get it nice and brown, there's nothing better. Get a little crispy and pungent garlic flavor on that. So how long you let it go really kind of depends on how garlicky you want it. I'd say I always look for a nice golden brown. We're slowly getting to. But yeah, as you mentioned, when you remove the garlic, you want to reserve the oil. That's where all the flavor is at. So then at that point in time, we take our guanciale. This is a product that we make in-house. There's been so many times guanciale. We do guanciale and pancetta here. Honestly, either product would work for this dish. This is actually a recipe, a variation of one of my favorite chefs from up north, Mark Vetri. He does a
in
Philadelphia. Yes. Mark has put out a lot of wonderful books. And something that caught our eye because, as you mentioned, guanciale is a very, very hard product to find.
Yes, it is.
So, be able to, those of you guys don't know, guanciale is actually pork jowls that's cured a lot like pork belly. Pork belly, obviously, being the belly of the pork. Both cuts are wonderful, though. They are so fatty, and what we're doing is we're rendering. It's a twofold process. We're rendering down the pork to release a lot of that beautiful fat, which translates to flavor. But secondly, something that's always very big for me when we do dishes is you want to get a little bit crispy.
Yeah.
And I know you're a big fan of Stanley Tucci and episode when they were in Rome.
Love Stanley Tucci.
That was the episode when they were in Rome. They were talking about. I think they were making a carbonara dish with, it was with guanciale. But he rendered it down, the Italian chef rendered it down very, until it was very crispy in the Roman restaurant. And then he actually removed it from the pan and put it on paper towels so it stayed nice and crisp. I don't know if it's because we have a cooked version here, but if you get this really crispy, it still retains that crispiness, which is so pleasant when you get a bite with the soft pasta and the creaminess from the fat and the butter. But it's really important because otherwise, if you don't render it down, being so fatty can kind of be a little. Some people just don't like biting into a big fatty piece of meat, which I can appreciate. My mom, on the other hand, would love a big fatty piece. So this does take a little while to render down. Being a cooked version, we do still cure it for a week. We use a little bit of fennel and coriander, salt.
You cured the actual guanciale here.
Yes, it comes in. Yes. We do fabricated house as well as our pancetta.
And the pancetta.
Yeah, and being a busy restaurant we tend to blow through a lot of cured pork. As well as we have a whole salumi program here. We tend to deal more with like cooked salumi these days because DHEC's getting a little tighter with their controls with raw aged product, but products as such that are cooked, they have a lot more leniency or room to be able to work with the product.
Did you find it harder to cook Italian here or in New York City?
my mom is from New Jersey, so I spent a lot of time in the Northeast, and I definitely know just how snobbish Northeasterners can be, and rightfully so. I'd say probably once a week someone comes down here to Charleston or John's Island, eats at our restaurant, and will tell us like, that was a great Italian meal, and I know because I'm from New York.
I'm from New York, Chef Jack.
Well, hopefully you'll have the same assessment. But yeah, it's in New York it's funny. I know, again, my mom being from Jersey, I kind of grew up with Italian American cuisine.
Right.
A lot of red sauce. It's fabulous. Sweet sausage, peppers, a lot of ragouts. Working in places I did in New York City and for a chef in North Carolina named Jimmy Noble, I really got to learn what true Italian cooking was. And not only did I get to spend some time staging in a lot of wonderful restaurants in New York City, I did a prolonged stage in Italy as well. And I got to work in Piemonte for a while, in Alba and Barbaresco, and a little bit in Friuli as well. Yeah. And to me that was like, I've been doing Italian food for quite some time, and like so many people, and I'm a firm believer that you really do need to go to Italy and experience the cuisine, there on their soil, but more so it's just the culture of food in Italy. Speaking of Stanley Tucci, I mean he catches it so well, and what an integral part of the daily life of an Italian food is. And not just food, but whether it's espresso or wine, and there are a lot of rules. And
now, why John's Island? Why Charleston?
It's funny, I've now lived in Charleston for I think, almost probably coming up on 30 years. And when I moved here, there really weren't a lot of Italian restaurants. And it's hard to believe, think of these days as Italian being ethnic cuisine, but you get a lot of wonderful meals in Charleston, but they were usually low country cuisine, especially in white tablecloth restaurants. But for me, I think I started doing Italian food. I did leave Charleston briefly for a year and a half and worked in North Carolina with Jimmy Noble for a stint. But you realized that there was nobody really doing that style of food in Charleston, where it was not only Italian but farm to table centered, which is Italian food.
Right. Personally, I think Italians invented the farm to table concept.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, like you go to Italy and you ask, when you visit towns, and it happened to me a lot. You ask, where's the best, place to eat in town, and they'll say my nonna's house. It's true, and it's because usually because the focus on quality and ingredients, whether it is from grandmother's backyard or whatever, the quality and attention to detail is there.
So do you think now that being here in John's Island in Charleston, having access to all of these local fresh ingredients translates better than cooking Italian than in New York per se?
To some extent. I mean, obviously there's a lot of beautiful farms in Hudson Valley produce. The one benefit we have down here is obviously the weather. I mean, actually the only time things really don't grow here is in the heart of summer for a couple months where it's just too darn hot to really do anything. But we have 3 seasons of strawberries here. It's just it's amazing what we're able to pull locally just because the climate is so favorable. Right. So what I did is we have this nice and crispy. You can see now, nice little fatty, crispy bites. We're gonna let that go. I did drain off some of the fat because it can be just a little heavy if you don't. But at this point in time, we're going to take our White Marsh Farms White Marsh Farms oyster mushrooms, and we're just going to saute them down. At this point too, I'd say we're going to drop some of our pappardelle. Always in salted water. We salt. Actually, about a box of salt goes between these two wells. So salted water is crucial when cooking pasta. And after this point, the guanciale just takes a little while, like bacon, to render down. But once you get to this point, it's a pretty quick pickup. One is this pasta literally was just made today. I mean, the color is just gorgeous, nice and golden brown. It's going to take about 3 minutes. We usually work, not right now, but we work off the timers here. Make sure the pasta isn't overcooked. That's another thing talking about Northeasterners is a New Yorker's idea of what is al dente and a Carolina person's idea of what is al dente are two different things. So I won't say we intentionally overcook the pasta, but we probably take it a little bit further than especially dry pasta. I mean, fresh pasta, not really such a big deal. I don't even like fresh pasta too al dente, but there's definitely a differential for sure. A little bit of cracked black pepper. I love cracked black pepper. It's like a carbonara, an amatriciana. Just a good way to season your dish a little bit. Let's see, at this point, we're going to add, we're going to just let these run there. I'll get salted just a bit. A little bit. Cook enough pasta, you can almost eye when it's ready in the well. But yeah, again, I love this because I mean it's just like all Italian food. Well, not all, but most Italian dishes that I really love. It's all about the simplicity and the balance of ingredients and flavors, and just kind of let the ingredients shine and speak for themselves.
Which is what the essence of the time.
Yeah. We like to say it's simple, but it's not easy. A lot of younger cooks get out of culinary school, and I've had a number over the years that have come work with us, and they really I feel they get bored too soon with the food, but they're missing the nuance of a lot of the cooking. It's easy. It's hard when you're a young cook. You're being introduced to all kinds of new ingredients and techniques, and you want to flex your muscles. But I turned 50 this year, and I tell you, it always comes back to simplicity for me. So. All right, we are looking good. So what I'll do is, we can add our pappardelle.
Little pasta water.
Pasta water, yeah. I mean, so many people come in too and will ask all the time, like, what's the sauce? And it's like, there is a sauce technically, but it's not, it's made, a la menu. It's just a pan sauce. Cooking all the ingredients in with the pasta is crucial. That's another thing I think a lot of novice pasta cookers, don't realize is that it's a homogeneous, like almost living thing. I love that. Say that one more time. I love that. It's homogeneous, living, yes, for sure. And sometimes you eat a pasta and it's almost like you can taste the different pieces to it, but it just doesn't seem to go together well. I mean, you have a soft pasta, maybe say a crunchy asparagus or whatever, but I love this dish because it is. It's really about the flavor of the guanciale coming through and the earthiness of the mushroom. So at this point in time, let's say we're going to probably add a little more water. I really do love to cook the pasta in the pan for as long as you can. That can be tricky here at a busy night when this French flat top is filled with pasta, but you know, really to bring it together, it's crucial that it cooks together. We're just gonna wilt the spinach. You know, spinach doesn't necessarily make it healthy, but it's great for a little bit of color. You know, we usually, honestly, on the menu, we use arugula, and oddly enough, it's like one of those rare weeks where I was not able to source any fresh arugula, so rather than use a bag of arugula from California, I figured we'd use some of Pete's beautiful spinach, and I mean, this is... We've been featuring it on a Secunday special for the weekend, and you know, perfect example of you know, the freshness of something local from, you know, a farm that's just a few miles away. It's unrivaled. Sure. All right, so we're starting to cook down. At this point, little secret, not secret, but even with all the fat from the guanciale, you know, like a carbonara or even amatriciana, whatever, I like to finish with a little bit of butter. It definitely adds a little bit of, you know, creaminess to the pasta without adding heavy cream. As much as I love Alfredo, not everything needs to be in a heavy cream sauce. And you know, the beauty of this is just
Give it more of a luxurious,
silky,
feel, yeah.
yes, silky texture, for sure. All right, we are almost there. Now, one thing gauging too, making this at home is okay, we're good to go. All right, so everything's put down, wilted.
Oh, wow. Oh, it smells amazing.
Beautiful. And then, of course, we'll finish with a little bit of grana, Parmesan Reggiano, which you can also put some into the sauce, but I really just kind of like a nice dusting right before it goes out.
Wow. Is this not gorgeous? By the way, I'm not sharing this with anybody. Piece of guanciale in there.
Wonderful bite.
Mushroom.
Yeah. I might have to make sure.
Pappardelle is cooked perfectly.
Yeah, still has the little crunch.
A Midwestern chef cooking Italian with a French name in the South has captured the essence of Italian cooking in just one bite. Amazing.